today to talk about is both establishing expectations and maintaining credibility for you as a facilitator. And I think, first off, in order to establish the expectations, the key thing that you need to do is involve basically all the participants in setting what those expectations are. In my experience, the best thing to do is make sure you've organized the room in a circle, you've established the fact that you as a facilitator are on an equal level with everyone in the group. Then what I like to do is just flat out tell people we're going to brainstorm the ground rules and expectations for the group. And this is something that we can all commonly come together on and agree on, but it's very easy. I mean, you'll consistently hear the same things. One expectation, everyone be on time. Another, respect each other's opinions. 3, no war stories. And you as a facilitator, you have the option of either going up and writing out all these ground rules on the blackboard, or else go ahead and delegating them to someone else. But I think the real important message is you go around the circle a few times and really brainstorm as many expectations as you can. But the key point here is to say, this is not my expectations of you, these are our expectations of everyone else. Can we agree to abide by these? And I think once you position it that way, then you realize that, yeah, it's not necessarily my discussion group, it's not my needs, we're doing this for you. And now Bob's going to talk about credibility.
Credibility is maintained really initially from the very start. How do you make a good first impression? We have about 60 to 90 seconds to make a good first impression on everybody in the room. Most people in that room will decide whether they even like you within the first 5 to 10 seconds. So how do we establish that kind of likability and that kind of credibility? We all want to be liked. Easiest part, we smile, we make eye contact. One gift or one idea to look at when you are trying to make eye contact, you don't necessarily stare, you don't get real close to their eyes, but try and discover what eye color the man that you are conversing with has. That way you become a lot more interested in him, he feels interested in you because you're actually making contact with the eyes. An open body language, an open stance, and again on the open side, open-ended questions help establish that idea of being likable and of having that good first impression. Credibility extends beyond the likability in that it needs to come from the heart. It needs to be genuine. We have relevance, we have empathy. People in your discussion group are going to remember about 1/3 of what they read in the manual, about half of what you tell them, but they will remember 100% of what they feel. So you need to be able to develop that empathy. But in the end result, if you're not genuine, if you are not coming across as living your values and of believing and acting through what you are talking to them about, they're going to reject you. They're going to dislike you. You need to be able to establish that credibility through the genuine actions of your beliefs and the values of our fraternity.
One other thing that we've talked about in another video clip is going to be the importance of a tactical topics list, or else a top 10 list. And basically what you're doing is you're finding out what's important to every single member. And a great way to build credibility and follow up, in addition to the setting expectations, right after you set those initial expectations, do the top 10 list. After you've posted those and saved those on the board, add to that list of initial expectations by saying, it's my goal as a facilitator that we will accomplish every single one of these in some form or another. And then as you continue on through workshop, your ability to actually broach those topics and discuss them and cross them off does nothing but reinforce your credibility along the way.
And finally, on credibility note, it doesn't stop at workshop. You as a facilitator need to be able to continue your relationship and your experience with that small group. If you leave that group and never contact them again, your credibility ends there. A month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, when they're struggling with issues, rather than going to you as a resource or going to the learnings they received from BLTW, they will have rejected those ideas because you no longer have credibility because you've dropped off the face of the earth. You need to be able to maintain that contact to maintain the credibility that you've initiated with being liked and making that good first impression. It goes beyond our 4 or 5 days of workshop.